Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz, and it is March 1st, 2022. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. We'll do the disclaimer, use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet, Mr. Perry. Better be, man, if it were me, I'd be at the beach trying to get in every free day I have left. Apply the but-for standard, but-for Mr. Perry's stalking, harassment, peeping. He's a peeping Tom. Hacking, stalking, harassment. He never shuts up. We wouldn't do these. These are to document stalking. You're supposed to. If you don't know that, look at the National Stalking Resource Center's videos. They have a YouTube channel. They tell you, document the stalking incidents. You got to go to court. You need a protective order if somebody's threatening death and false arrest and economic and property loss every fucking day, right? So that's what this is for. But for Mr. Perry's act of injury, then, we wouldn't need to document it, would we? Apply the reasonable person standard. We assert all constitutional rights, including, but not limited to, the First Amendment, right to free speech, New York Times versus Sullivan, Garrison versus Louisiana. We also have the right to redress. When our public officials don't do their job, we're the taxpayers, we're their bosses. My granddad had that on his brochure. The taxpayers are they're our bosses. They hired us. They didn't have to. You can go apply for a job at any private company. They're going to look at background checks. They're going to do all this stuff. Okay, well, you're no different. You're absolutely not different. I know you think you're God. You're not. Get off your high horse. Get the fuck off your high horse. And the 14th Amendment, you heard of that? Equal protection under the law. Racism, misogyny, same deal. Gender discrimination. Discrimination is discrimination. There are men who have mommy issues that like picking on women to feel tough. Instead of picking on guys, they pick on women and children so they feel tough. That usually translates into domestic violence. It's a crime. Stalking, hacking, peeping, crimes. Mr. Perry, you have been a reject for 12 years. Not a day, not a week, not a month. 12 years, sir. And you're not loved, you're not wanted. I don't want anything to do with you. Make my skin crawl bad. You're making everybody sick of their stomach with what you're doing to me. Everybody's tired of the suffering and the hardship. Normal people don't like that. So what happens is there's a saying, people may not remember what you said, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. Normal people want to feel happy, safe, peace, joy, supported, loved. They don't want to feel threatened, scared, nervous, anxious, stressed out, guilty. So you're making people feel everything they don't like feeling, creeped out, icked out, slimy. Dr. Cyril Wecht, in speaking about Jeff Epstein, said even prisoners are repulsed by sex perverts. There's guys in prison that did something cool, like Ocean's 11, something. They really have a hard time with men who beat up women and children. They really have a hard time with it. So if they do, what about everybody else? We have a civilized society. We have laws so that we don't have some sort of free-for-all where people are losing property, losing money, losing their privacy, losing their civil rights. And you're breaking those laws. You're breaking those rights. You're breaking that. And that everyone hates it. We're sick of it. And in your lives, when have you been caught this much in your crime? Mr. Perry, you covered this up all your life. You've been a sex weirdo all your life. It is a problem you have no control over. It is extremely offensive what you do. A man's cruelty will be his downfall. His kindness will bring blessings. That's you know what that is? That's just another way of saying, maybe you ought to read the book, How to Be Nice to People, so they don't want to hit you in the face with a brick. That's not a threat, Mr. Powell. It's just a saying. It's not to be taken literally. Anybody else could say it and everybody would laugh. I say it and everybody goes, oh, she just made a threat. Let's put her in jail. You guys are stupid. I don't even know what to say. But the day Mr. Perry met me, he never got a date. There's never going to be a date. He's not loved and he's not wanted. He's a reject. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month, but for over a decade, 12 years. He sits around watching me on TV, on his computer or his phone, causing one problem after another problem after another problem, and he's pissing everybody off. And the day he met me, he's done this to a lot of people. I'm not the only one. The day he met me, all of a sudden, things changed forever. His life will never be the same. Life as he knew it ended. There is no cover-up. Oil viscosity. Mike was drugged. McNamara email. Ringtone email. Shoe print email. And those emails come from a recording of you or someone helping you. So, what combination of words do we use to make you leave me alone? You're not loved, you're not wanted, you're rejected, and you're told on. Let me say that one more time because you're very slow. You're not loved, you're not wanted, you're rejected, and you're told on, and 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 you're pissing everybody off. And you're pissing the wrong people off because you see, Mr. Perry, when I met you, before I met you, I grew up in the home. My family had the power in the town where I grew up. My granddad was the chief of police, Mr. Perry. Police chief. Law enforcement. 4 generations of lawmen raised me to hate crime, to believe that we are called, cop or not, we're called to relieve suffering, not cause it. Called to relieve suffering caused by crime, and that power is in service to other people. You get to go to the victims and say, you're safe now. He can't hurt you anymore. We caught the bad guy. He won't hurt you again. Power is in service to other people. My grandmother said she got about 200 letters from people he helped when he died. 200 in a small town like Roswell. That's a lot. What about the people that were thankful just didn't have time to write something up? His name is on the police department where he was chief to this day. He also faced adversity from a man who could not keep his pants zipped up. He started having an affair with a woman who was a dispatcher. My granddad told him to cut it out. You're interfering with police business. He was hanging out in the police department, talking to her all the time, and he was married. My granddad and grandmother were friends with him and his wife. They went and did things together. The guy was on the city council. He formed a committee to take over the police department. My grandmother showed me there was a lot of news articles about it, the fight back and forth. He tried to make my granddad look like he was incompetent. It was bad. I'd see the stress on my granddad's face. I'd see it. He didn't back off. Didn't apologize. He said, I'm sorry, but you did wrong. I had a police department to run, and you were interfering with police business, taking time away from taxpayer citizens that hired us to protect and serve. You should have been in your office working. Well, what happened at the end of the day is my granddad's name is on the front door of that police department where he served as chief, and nobody remembers who the other guy was. He was honored. Guess what else? You watch any of these UFO things, they bring up him. My granddad and I don't believe aliens even existed, much less landed in Roswell. He told us what happened, but guess what? Half the world thinks they did, so they made a place where everyone can come look, and it's brought a lot of money into the town, and they did that when he was on the city council. He was also a county treasurer. I grew up in that world, not a ghetto. Our family didn't have a lot of money, but they had power. My granddad made sure we understood everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. Mr. Perry, do not contact me. I don't like it. In any form at all. You're weirdo. I want for you to put your doll down, take your skirt off, and wipe your lipstick off your face, and go act like a man, get off your fat, lazy, perverted ass, and go work. And leave everybody else alone. I think you've bothered people enough. You're not wanted, you're not loved, you're told on and told on more than ever in your life. You got a organized crime thing here going. You're caught, sir, because you fucked with me. I've had somebody mention the other day, you got to clean up your language. Listen, I'm dealing with some wicked, wicked, wicked people. It's not going to do any good for me to go, oh, good to go turn blue, okay? And be all leave it to beaver about it. I'm sorry if that offends you. In this day and age, a lot of people cuss. Get over it. Get over it. I'm dealing with wicked, deep, dark criminals every day, all the time. I'm a victim of crime every day, 24/7. These people are very, very dangerous. So if I want to say fuck you, I get to say that. I get traumatized every day. A lot of people would have fallen apart at this point. I've not fallen apart. So when you live in my life, if you could even do it for 5 minutes, then you can criticize my cousin. Otherwise, mind your own business. You don't get to Monday morning, whatever it is, quarterback me. I mean, I don't know what the saying is. Monday morning, whatever it is. You don't get to judge me until you've lived in my life and you're dealing with what I'm dealing with. These are sadists. They get off on hurting people. Mr. Perry gets off on weirdo. If it's weirdo, he loves it. That's a turnoff to women. Can't figure out how to get women to like him. Mr. Perry, you rejected. Day after day after day. No one's holding your hand. You're by yourself. But you're told on and told on. And your crime is caught. More and more and more and more every damn day. Because you can't control yourself and go be normal. Normal people don't need to cover up. They don't need to buy a cop. They don't need to buy a judge. They don't need to intercept mail. They don't need to get, you realize there's been a shit ton. People are noticing. She had the burden of proof on her, and they never let her in court. Lots and lots of evidence. Didn't ever let her show the judge. 5 attorneys, seasoned, can't face her in court in just a normal proceeding. The way things are supposed to go. I've not had it supposed to go ever. You're pissing people off with that, sir. Told on and told on and told on. Oil viscosity, shoe print, ringtone. Those are subjects of emails. 33,000 plus. That represent 33,000 plus recordings that you know of because I don't type them all up. What courtroom are those being played in already, Mr. Perry? All this weirdo shit you have, this freaky Jason crap you do, that you have no control over, no power. You're impotent and weak. It's bitch. You're a slave to it. It's offensive to other people, and you know that. Because you wouldn't lie and try to cover it up if you didn't know that. You know it's a crime because you try to, and you don't get the insanity defense. You've established that you know what you're doing is criminal. That's called mens rea. If I were in a courtroom ever, somebody would let me in there in my own lawsuits where the burden of proof is on me, I would say that. And you know that. That's why you won't let me in court.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
To me like that. I am simply saying that you
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
shut up.
please
Shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Speak to me like that. I am simply saying that you
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
shut up.
please
Shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why
I don't. Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, see you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why
I don't. Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, see you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you.
Did he really just say That's okay. I don't care what you want. God, antisocial disorder. Refusal to respect the rights and wishes of other people and act with some fucking dignity and some class. Mr. Perry, you're far beneath my dignity. I wouldn't walk in a room with you for millions of dollars. You embarrass the hell out of me. You're a weirdo. You're like that. You're pathetic. I said no. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month. For 12 years. For a decade. Over a decade. I left. You're pathetic. I moved twice to get away from you. Twice. Completely changed my life. Nobody goes from a career where they're interacting and shaking hands with and working for and with governors, United States senators and congressmen into go work in a strip club. Just boom, just like that. Dropped everything. Left town, went to work in a strip club to hide out from you, to get away from you. I moved twice. I left Lubbock in November 2013. I left, sir, to get away from you and your repulsive, disgusting, nasty, ick, delusion slime. That is so deeply offensive. It's not hard to get information. Oil viscosity, shoe print, McNamara email, Mike was drugged email. Thousands of them. It's not hard at all. People are sick and tired of you imposing your weirdo on us. Get a control over it. Get the hell out of my life. The more you bother me, the more you cause a problem for me, the more we get. Dumbass. You're provoking. I left Lubbock in 2013 of November. Left. Have no intention of going back. I had already been telling everybody for months. I hate it here. I want to leave. I don't like this town. I don't like Mr. Perry. I don't like being stalked and he won't stop. You know what I like? Nice, normal people. Progressive. People that aren't still on Noah's Ark. Get the little woman in the kitchen and get her subjugated. Why can't we get her to mind? Oh my God. Wow. Wow. We've been doing it this way for 30 years. Don't work, but we do it this way anyway. Oh my God, I can't even stand it. I'm not from Lubbock. I lived in Vegas. Whole different mindset. It's very competitive in Vegas. Always looking for the next best cool thing. And they don't bother everybody else. They don't do it. Women are to be treated equally under the law, Mr. Perry. You're beneath me. I wouldn't walk in a room with you for millions because you're like that guy. You're beneath my dignity. And the more you bother me, the more you guys get caught. And it's been this way since the McNamara email of 2015, pretty much every day. We're going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not even legal. She didn't call the Duvals. Yep, all of that. Somebody listening to this that doesn't know may not understand what that means. You know exactly what that means. When in your lives have you been caught this much? The day you fucked with me, life as you knew it ended. Didn't it? I wouldn't walk in a room with you for millions. You embarrassed the hell out of me because you're a weirdo and I asked you to leave me alone. This guy will not shut up, will he? What'd she say? About 100 times. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me leave me alone. She's a whole lot nicer than I've been. There's a reason for that. I'm dealing with a much more deeply deranged, disturbed criminal. Deeply deranged, disturbed criminal. You guys are used to walking in a police department. Here's the money. If you don't, we'll hurt you like we did Mike and Lucky. Not anymore. Never again will you do that and get away with it. Because you fucked with me. You don't know who I am and you don't know what I can do and you don't know who I know. I'm sorry, I take that back. You don't know who I am and you don't know who I know, but you've seen what we can do. McNamara email. Mike was drugged email. I said that before it hit the docket. I said that before that came out. Depositions weren't even taken yet. Mr. Perry, put your damn doll down, take your skirt off, and act like a man. You embarrassed the hell out of me. Why aren't you embarrassed? You should be. Your conduct is disgusting. Even prisoners are repulsed by guys like you. You know, the cool kind. Ocean's 11. We robbed a bank. Blah, blah, blah. Disgusted by sex perverts who get off on starving, torture, and torment of women and children. Abuse. Economic abuse. Domestic violence abuse. Sickened by you. That's why it's not hard to get information. This guy is imposing. Antisocial disorder is a disease, Mr. Perry, not a trophy. Peep and Tom is illegal, not a trophy. It's a turnoff to women. Our shrink is like, oh, here's the thing, Your Honor. Mr. Perry, you and I are married, happily married. Your wife, you know, in order to get your wife to like you and to marry you, you did things she liked. Same with my husband and I. We wanted to we wanted to make each other happy. Mr. Perry finds out she hates something, he'll do more. She's made it very clear she likes men who work hard. Have something interesting to discuss. Not sit around on their butt and watch TV all day and cause problems. And she'll say, I hate that. And the more she says that, the more he does it. Doesn't understand words, or he's not after women. He's after deviant men. Because this is not what we do when we like somebody, is it? Do you understand me, Perry? You're just a Peep and Tom stalker, that's it. 12 years, and you get told on and told on and told on and told on the more you mess with me. You were told to stop. Control yourself. You don't have my consent to hack, peep, or contact me at all. And don't ask me to lie for you. Listen, Ghislaine, what do you want me to do? Be like Ghislaine, what's her name? Ghislaine, Maxwell? Fuck you, not gonna happen. I've already said it. I'm not gonna participate in your criminal activity. I'm not okay with it. I don't think it's cute. I think you disgust everybody. And we all want you to stop. That's why you get told on, sir. Everybody wants it stopped. It's offensive. You're making everybody sick at their stomach. It's creepy. You're creepy. People said that on her TikTok all over the place. Other people chimed in about this guy. He disgusts everybody. No class, no dignity. No self-respect. Because no self-respecting man would act like this.
Stalk me, that's why
No. Just talk
leave
to
me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, Neil. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
I will. You
leave me alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute?
Oh, nobody asked you, Neil. Did they? Failure to respond right to the words just said. Fail. It's like he doesn't understand it. She said, leave me alone, 6 times. What does he say? What? Starts asking about her clothes. Mr. Neil, nobody asked you, Mr. Perry. No one asked you what you think. We don't care. What we care about is that you're bothering me and you are to leave me alone. Understand the words and respond right.
I'm serious.
Sir, please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof.
Will you shut up? Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
shut up.
please
Shut up.
stop.
Shut up. 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 Shut up.
What? I'm sorry. Please don't speak to me like that. I am simply saying that you...
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
shut up.
please
Shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
You weren't asked what you think, were ya? No one asked you. No one cares. What, sir, were you asked to do? Shut the fuck up and get out of my life. Get off your fat, lazy ass. Stop perverting around. Go be normal. Control yourself and leave me the hell alone. Stop asking me to lie. Stop trying to take my home away. Stop trying to take my car away. Stop taking my money. Get off your ass. Go work. And then you don't need a cover up. Mr. Perry told everybody when I first got in touch with Mike Nealy's attorney and said I want to testify for him. He didn't do it. I was in the process of getting I've been living in hotels, bouncing around. My son went to college. I didn't renew my lease. I'm like, I'm going to go live in hotels and just move around so Charles can't find me. He did anyway. I did that for 2 years. I decided since he's finding me anyway, I might as well get an apartment. I was trying to get a new apartment and a new car. Mr. Perry's recorded. There's not going to be a new apartment and a new car. I threw a fit. Get your butt out. Shut up and get out. Butt out. It's not your business. You and I are nothing. You're asserting you're butting in. You're a butt in. That's it. You and I are not a couple. You are delusional, and you're making a fool of yourself, and everybody laughs at you. Wants you to shut up. You have a wife, Jacqueline. You have kids, Jordan and Matthew. You're embarrassing them too, by the way. You need to get a grip on reality. You got to disconnect between real and your imaginary fantasy life. And everyone sees it, sir. It isn't your business where I live. Mr. Perry, it's not your business where I live. Listen to the words I'm saying. You're butting in. You don't belong in my life. I moved twice to get away from you. Had you obeyed the law, you would need a cover up now. I said leave me the fuck alone. Every day for over a decade, leave me alone. I don't care what you think, didn't ask you. Shut up and get off me. Get off me, rapist. Where I live isn't your business. It's not your business. It doesn't concern you. We're not a couple. Get a grip on reality. You're making everybody mad. All the suffering, it's enough. We're gagging on it. Your delusion. It's enough. We're gagging on it. And so we get things like oil viscosity, ringtone, shoe print, McNamara email, Mike was drugged email. Over and over and over, you're caught because everyone's sick and tired of you. You're an imposition and a burden, sir. I didn't invite you into my life. You're an intruder, not an invited guest. We all want you gone. Gone. Life as you knew it ended when you started messing with me. You don't know who I am, and you don't know who I know. But even your own guy said, when he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we have never seen before. Get a grip on reality. Complete disconnect on how people think, what they want. They don't want to feel your fear and sadness and grief and guilt and anxiety and stress. What we want to feel is you're gone and we're safe. How could you not know that at your age? Most people never have to be told this, Mr. Perry, even one time, much less over and over and over and over. And the public doesn't like your corruption, by the way. In a civilized society, we do not tolerate what you do. If everybody acted like you, there wouldn't be a civilized society, now would there? There's a reason we have laws in place and procedures in court, and we don't forward mail that might have money in it to you. I forward my mail, not you. You didn't have consent to contact my landlord at all, nor did my landlord have my consent to talk to you. They were told specifically not to. I have a stalker. Do not talk to him. Oh, no, we don't. We don't do that. What we do is we have an emergency contact written down for you here, and we don't even tell them anything unless there's an emergency. You lied. You lied, and you violated my rights all over the place. There's a reason those laws are in place. If everyone acts like you, we have no longer a civilized society. We have a free-for-all. Laws are put in place to protect people from injury, and I assert my equal protection to them all. You say you're a Christian. You're a fucking a Baptist deacon. That is a load of crap. Don't lie, don't steal, don't kill, don't commit adultery, do not covet things that do not belong to you. Do not have any other gods before me, do not bear false witness, and guess what happens when you do? You reap what you sow, and you already are. You invade my privacy, my guys invade yours, and they have a court order to do that, and you do not. When you started messing with me, y'all started getting caught. Because we're all sick of it. This is how everybody feels, Mr. Perry. When you gotta say how you feel, and how I feel, and here's how I want, and this is what I need, and I just need her to lie, and we just need her to apologize, and I just need to cover up, and wah. She doesn't like me, boo-hoo-hoo. Boo fucking who. High school kids get rejected and move on. I got rejected, I moved on. You're pathetic.
I'm sorry. Please don't speak to me like that. I am simply saying that you
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
shut up.
Please
shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can tell
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Prove that.
Please
You
leave
can
me alone. Leave me alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone.
What does that say, Mr. Perry? There is no way to choose your driver. I've signed up for 3 food delivery services. I'm sorry, 4. Well, one is it's a service that you drive around, but I'm not going to say what it is. Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and anybody who does food delivery. Actually, there's pretty good money in it if you do it right. And you want to pick which one is busier that day. Right? So, you work whenever the hell you want to work. You work for however long you want to work. You work in whatever part of town you want to work in. And there's different reasons you might choose that. For me, it's about safety. Unfortunately, it's about safety. Sometimes I can't do whichever one's going to make me more money that day. But you can't know when I'm going to work without peeping and hacking and sitting around looking at my bank account. Is she broke enough yet to go work? Why won't she go to Chipotle? Because you did something. I'm not going to go there. That is a criminal act. You're trying to coerce. We got to starve her into a lie. Yeah, you don't. It's coercion, it's a crime. I assert my equal protection to Title 18, United States Code 1512 and 1513, 1623, 1001. Anything against perjury. Anything against willfully concealing a material fact that could change the outcome, like my false arrest. When you had me charged in Lubbock, where I hadn't lived for over a year, and you don't legislate in Oklahoma, and I didn't do Texas legislation, and you don't have anything but delusion. There's no political vendetta. You don't matter. I was in politics all my life. Sir, you don't matter. I had other people that call if I wanted to do Texas legislation. You weren't the go-to guy. You're the new guy in the smallest district in the state. You're not a go-to guy. Didn't do Texas legislation at all. I did federal, sir. Federal. Many years before I ever met you. Federal. I had just walked out of the office of Harry Reid. You think you matter to me? You're something. Get off your high horse. My granddad taught us power is in service and everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. Don't abuse the power. Don't abuse your situation here. Serve people. Help people. Be good to people. You get more bees with honey. Be kind to people. Love people. Make them feel safe. That's what my granddad taught us all our life. Relieve suffering caused by crime. You don't cause suffering, you relieve it. And it doesn't matter if you're a cop or not. You respect taxpayers. They're our bosses. They put a roof over our head, food on our table, and a driveway, a car in your driveway. You respect them. You know what else? When it's systemically and nationally, we have a problem with people trusting police, whose fault is that? Not the citizens. Citizens want to trust police. Citizens want to trust the criminal justice system in our country. When you corrupt it, they don't. They blow up, like we saw with Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. We had one thing after another got ignored, and then all of a sudden, we had a catastrophic event followed by a corrective event. That's the way things work in a society. People stand up and say, this is not okay. It's not okay. Every time you're told on, that's what that is, dumbass. We don't tolerate that kind of behavior in a civilized society. And you're supposed to be a dignitary and have some class, and you don't. Did you grow up in a trailer park, a ghetto, or I don't know where you grew up, but you can tell it wasn't what I grew up in. Money or not, because cops don't make any money. Cops don't make shit. So it's not like we were wealthy. But my granddad had power and respect. He had power because he had respect. Because he served. Because he was nice to people. And he treated everybody with dignity. And he didn't shit all over people. And he believed that the taxpayers were the bosses, and he had that on his brochure. Taxpayers are our bosses. They can come in and look at the books of the county anytime they want. We're accountable to them. When you go to a company and you want to get a job, they have the right to ask you questions about your life and how you conduct yourself and how you think, and decide not to hire you if it's not what they're looking for. What's the difference? What is the difference? You can't know what I'm going to do when I'm going to the grocery, when I'm going to end up at a Quick Trip putting gas in my car, to have some lady come running up to me wanting to know what hair color I use specifically. You know, you got to frame me for something, and the chick that you want that actually did it, her hair's a little darker than mine. Got to have her dye her hair. Never mind that on the day of the crime it was still not the same color. Your witnesses, I've heard them. They were recorded. My guys know how to get to you. They know how to do a lot of things. She's heavier. Her skin's darker, and her hair's a little more brown than Cynthia's. On the day of the crime, it was. So now, after the fact, you want to frame me for whatever it is she did, You want me to tan? Except you can't tan if you don't have any money, Mr. Perry. You guys don't think anything through. It's funny. It's a weakness we exploit. And your inability to relate to normal people. Empathy. You don't know how normal people think. And that is a weakness we've also exploited. Easily. People don't like what you're doing. People don't like when one person causes hardship to another. If you couldn't tell that by watching Chauvin and Floyd and the way the world blew up and the call for defunding of police, you're just really dumber than a rock. In a civilized society, we don't tolerate what you're doing. That's why you're getting told on. There's never going to be a date. Ever. You disgust me. You are not hot and sexy. You're repulsive to women. Women don't like peeping toms. Go into any bar, find the ugliest chick in there, walk in there and tell her what you do to me all day and see if she'll go home with you. She's not going to go home with you. She'll probably call the cops. If you're in a bar and you're harassing a woman, they will throw you out. A bouncer will take your ass and throw you out. It's disgusting. It's not tolerated. And since you met me and you attacked me, your crime gets caught more than ever in your life. Life as you knew it ended when you fucked with me. Why might that be? Why might that be? You can't know, Mr. Perry, when I'm going to go work. But for you're a peeping Tom and a hacker. Both illegal. Both illegal. So, what'd you do with the girl? Put her on a diet too? It's always after the fact. See, we come up with what you're planning before you do it. Ringtone. Shoe print. They don't have my shoe print. They sure were talking about getting it. Went out to my club where I worked. We need to get her shoe print. Can you call us next time she comes in? And he said no. These girls are entitled to their privacy. You don't need to know when she's coming in here. Can't you get that from her house? No, we got to get it while she's in a VIP. Well, but the property in the back is in the dressing room, where there's a reasonable expectation it will be left alone. In fact, there's cameras back there that if anybody steals anything, they get fired. So, no. Barring a court order, no. It's not abandoned property. It's in the back, in the dressing room, where everyone has the reasonable expectation you're not going to help yourself to our shit illegally. Is that correct? Did you want my shoe print? Because a recording of you talking says you did. Because you wanted to frame me for something. You need a cover up. And you're not getting one, are you? You just get told on. Everything you're doing is so disgusting and offensive, you're getting told on. There's never going to be a date. You're not good enough for me. You're a weirdo. Go into a bar and ask any woman in there. Find the ugliest, most desperate chick in there. And tell her what you do to me all day. See if she'll go home with you. Not a chance. Not a fucking chance. Get the hell out of my phone. And then when I need to work, they jam up my app so they don't work. I'm making $20 an hour. All of a sudden that goes down to $7. Yep. Duly noted for the record, Mr. Perry. Duly noted for the record. You see that there? Trial of Michael Nealy, who had just 6 days before he was arrested for killing his boss by beating him to death. 6 days before. Took a vandalism complaint. And I found out in March 2020 he was drugged. He didn't do it. My name is on the witness statement. Title 18 of the United States Code, sir, 1512 and 1513 prohibits you contacting me. Witness tampering. You guys just do all this shit. You're organized crime. We're organized crime. Yeah, and you suck at it, actually. You actually suck at it, and you're caught now. This means I'm a witness. What's he do? Oh, contacts me anyway. I can break the law and get away with it. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what planet you're living on. How many times did you ask who told on me? I don't think you're getting away with shit. I think you're just getting caught. You're just too dumb to know that. You're disconnected from the way people think and what they want and what they need. All you think about is what you need. You're not getting a cover up. Not this time. Crime's never been this uncovered, has it? Who told on me? Everybody else is going, gosh, I hope the victims are okay. Just like that girl. I'm glad she's okay. That's how normal people think. I'm glad the victim of a crime is okay. Not you. I want to know who told on me. I want to know who told. Who's my leaks? Like you're a 3-year-old little girl. It's embarrassing. Ask me, who coaxed Mike to Pensacola? Who begged him to go? Because it was premeditated. That right there is evidence of premeditation, isn't it? This right here, who are the other victims of the center? Who's talking? It's all about you. And when you focus on you is all you're going to end up with. Subconscious mind will attract to yourself what you want. You want to get caught, or you wouldn't keep doing the same thing every day that gets you caught. You're not loved and wanted. There's nobody holding your hand. You're rejected for over a decade. You're just like Neil, and you never shut up. It's unbelievable. And the more you bother me, and the more you take my money, and the more you pester me, and the more you invade my privacy, and the longer Mike Nealy's in jail, the more caught you are. Oil viscosity. Oil viscosity. Just this weekend. McNamara email. Mike was drugged email. I knew before anybody else said it, didn't I? Because you guys are under investigation and you cannot get that. You don't get it, do ya? We all want you gone. We all want you in prison. That's what we want. We want you removed from society that you seem so intent on ruining. Organized crime, and you suck at it. I lived in Vegas. Watch the movie Casino. What blew up organized crime in Vegas? What blew it up? Fucking somebody couldn't keep his pants zipped up. Every time it's the same thing. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to say. So you got this, there it is right there. March 2nd. He was drugged and didn't get a full talks panel. Mr. Florida State's Attorney, you have to have, I'm studying criminal justice in college. I did have this, however, in my brief. In my initial brief in the first lawsuit I filed against Mr. Powell. You have to have probable cause to pursue criminal charges against someone. It's in the ABA rules. You have to have it. You don't just throw people in jail, because that'd be a violation of Title 18 of the United States Code, 1512 and 1513. You just want to intimidate somebody. And that's something that Mr. Perry keeps trying to do. That he's tried like 20 different things. Oh, have her arrested for prostitution because she wears socks in a lap dance. I haven't danced for a year. They think of that now because it's an election cycle. I danced for 6 years with socks on. You know why? Not because we're doing anything sexual, because I don't want to poke holes in the furniture with my shoes. And so we take our shoes off. Some girls don't even have socks on. I give cops, all kinds of cops lap dances. All kinds of cops lap dances. And I asked some of them, what's the deal? I guess there's a prostitution charge with, you just take your shoes off. Do you know how many girls get feet hurt and they take their shoes off because their feet hurt? And they usually all laugh. It's always usually the same reaction. Everybody laughs because it's a ridiculous law. And all of them said the same thing. You got your feet covered. Good enough. Good enough. So that was just we need another smear campaign. Because she found out Mike was drugged. Look at that right there. Given Narcan. Not treated for being knocked out in a fight. Narcan for being drugged. He was found unconscious. Not a mark on him. In respiratory distress. He was dying. Somebody drugged him. Kind of like they did to me. Me and Mike, it's the same. You drug us, we don't die, you do a false arrest. Innocent man sitting in jail while you go around and reoffend and reoffend and reoffend and reoffend. Yep, not cool. We're not okay with that, Mr. Perry. That's not how you get women to like you either, by the way. And you suck at the organized crime. You suck at it. Thank God. My guys are going to get you. They have a bigger case. Whoever else you bought, too bad. It's too bad for them. That's why it's a need to know, so nobody will tell you anything, so you can't do it to them what you did to Mike and Lucky. This time you got caught. Even your own guy said, In all these years, we've been sexually exploiting women and their kids by broadcasting them on the dark web and selling watch time, putting cameras in their home without their knowledge or consent, without any kind of compensation, without any kind of contract. They didn't agree to that. Children being watched all over the world. You torture, you torment, you starve. It's a human rights violation, and when they, you piss people off, that. Nobody likes to watch human suffering. You're a sadist. You're sick. You're demented. You're disturbed. Everybody else is not, sir. Everybody reacted to Neil, acting disturbed and demented, depraved. He's not near as bad as you. So, because you did this to them, it's absolutely need to know now. They won't tell anybody. And because Tulsa police gave my police report right over to the offender, definitely not going to talk to them. They don't trust them. Why would they? You put my life in danger. You put Lucky and Mike's in danger too, by the way. Negligence. You just didn't want to do your job. Here, stalker, domestic violence offender, will just give you her police report. And I lost my evidence because of it. And we have now a dead Lucky and an almost dead framed Mike. And they've tried to kill me a time or two. Thank God I have police from somewhere else helping me. What would I do? And to God. Because my guys couldn't get to me when you threw the brick at me on the highway. And it totaled my car. They couldn't get to me in time. But God did. Didn't he? It wasn't my day. Wasn't my day. Mr. Perry, don't contact me. You need to shut up. Nobody asked you what you think. We don't care. Shut up. So, he was given, down here at the bottom, what's Narcan? It's a treatment for opioid overdose. Opioid overdose. Just like Jody Arrington, a vandalism report was filed, right? And, see, I had that going on, too. People coming up, taking pictures of me. And you had a prostitution allegation. And I'm telling the guy that owned this place, he says, Lucky was over here asking me if you had men in and out of your room if you're a prostitute. And I told him no. She keeps to herself. She didn't bother anybody. And they were like Mr. Powell and Mr. Perry and Mr. What's his name? Mr. Powell, Mr. Perry, and Mr. Burson call here all the fucking time. We want to get her on harassment. They called so much, she never called. We knew what they were doing to her car. She didn't call us about it. Not till it had happened about 20 times. Jody Arrington slashed the tires of Travis Alexander. The next escalation was murder in the first degree. Same here. They're vandalizing my car. When I call the police and report it, the next escalation was murder in the first degree of the cop that took my, the police chief that took my report. 6 days later, he's dead. You obstructed justice again. You got an MO. You like poisoning. What's the favorite weapon of a snake? Poison. So, the owner's like, we told him, no, she doesn't. She keeps to herself. She doesn't bother anybody. There's no men coming in and out of her room. And I said, actually, Laura has called the chief 3 times, complaining about people doing that, coming up right there and taking pictures of me. That's stalking, Mr. Perry. You need to leave me alone. I left. I moved twice to get away from this kind of crap right here. Nobody's bothering you. You're up in Oklahoma bothering everybody else. It's sickening. You're told on. You're told on, sir. You don't get a date. You're not loved and wanted. The results of your actions is you're told on, Mr. Perry. Understand the words I'm saying to you. I've had to say those words over and over and over, and you're still not getting it, are you? When you bother me, you get told on. When you bother me, you get told on. When you bother me, you get told on. Cause and effect. When you touch a hot stove, you get burned. The cause is touching the hot stove. The effect is you're burned. When you bother me, when you peep on me, when you hack me, when you take my money, when you cause hardship and drama for me, The effect of that is you're told on and told on and told on and told on. You're not getting a date with me. You're not good enough. You don't fit with my crowd. You disgust everybody. You're depraved. You're demented. And you're disturbing people with it. You're delusional. Complete disconnect from reality. Complete disconnect from how people feel about you and what they think. They're not happy with you. Everybody wants you gone. You're not going to get a date with me. You're not going to force me to lie. I said no. Absolutely not. I'll live under a bridge first. I've already done without electricity. I've already done without food. And I'm not going to lie for you. Get a grip on reality. All you're doing is pissing everybody off with this. Nothing else. You get no other results in not just a day, a week, or a month, but 12 years, sir. You just piss everybody off. That's it. And you get told on and told on and told on. He's typing in my phone last night. I'm happy we have evidence. No, you don't, because I didn't do anything wrong. You might have tried again to cook up evidence. You know, oh, let's have Terry give her jewelry and starve her to death. And then make sure she can't find any work. And then then she'll get desperate and take you to a pawn shop, and we'll have her arrested on possession of stolen property. He gave it to me. First of all, I took pictures of it. He did what you said. Terry Wagner works with David Robertson. David Robertson's owns Dynamic Shot. They do road construction. He had these guys staying right there next to me. Right next to me. And my car was vandalized constantly. It was about the 20th time before I finally called Manford Police. And it took me an hour to decide to do that. I usually make a decision very quickly and I go. I just move forward. That took me a fucking hour. Now I wish I hadn't called. Now I wish I wish we had known beforehand. They should not have gone to Pensacola. You know what they were doing in Pensacola, trying to become better cops? They had a dead body over at Lakeshore, where I was staying. There were some questions as to whether or not he died from natural causes or murder. Lucky went to a class in Pensacola to learn how to make that determination. That's what police do. Mr. Perry, shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up. Please shut up. No one cares what you think. Please, in the name of God, shut up. Please understand the words said to you. No one cares what you think. Shut up. You weren't asked. You were not asked. You were told, do not contact me. The more you do, the more you're told on, because I don't like it. I don't like you. Write it down, Alzheimer's. This is why we said, if there were prostitution going on, there would be a picture of it. So the jewelry thing, Terry Wagner works with David in road construction. They've worked in the same industry, in the same state for like 40 years, 30, 40 years. He walks into my club where I am. I don't go where he is. I didn't know the guy. Wife does the auction. They got all kinds of leftover auction shit, jewelry. He gave some to me. I thought you might like this. Oh, thanks. But then, and it's fine, it's all good, until they're recorded, starve her, have her pawn that shit off, and we'll get her on possession of stolen. We need to arrange another false arrest. Mr. Perry, shut the fuck up. You were not asked what you think. Please understand the words. I'm not a special education teacher, sir. I don't know how to relate to somebody that can't behave like a normal person and can't understand what's being said. I'm used to you say it once and everybody gets it the first time. You don't have to repeat it over and over and still don't get it. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't. Some people have a gift of God, just very patient with very slow, mentally slow people. I'm not that guy. I'm not that girl. I don't know how to relate to you. I can't even begin to relate to you. I'm used to boom, boom, boom. So your guy says, we've never had one figure out we had cameras on them. We've never had one bill us. Give us an invoice for it. We've never had one sue us. And we've never had one solve the murder we committed. That's my gift. That's my gift right there. My dream is to look your victims in the face and say, you're safe now. Power is in service. Service to other people, service to your soul. It isn't being a whiny, snivelly, little spoiled, rotten little brat who did something stupid to hurt people and wants now a cover-up. That's not power, that's abuse of power. Mr. Perry, you need to get a grip on reality, sir. So, Terry Wagner comes in to my work, and, I said to him, do you know... I didn't tell him there was a problem. All I said is, do you know Mr. Robertson works for Dynamic Shot or owns it? Nope, never heard of him. Remember, I didn't say there was a problem. All I said is, do you know the guy? Nope, never heard of him. Yeah, I don't believe you, because you worked in the same state in the same industry for 40 years, and you've never heard of him, at least heard of him? I might believe you've not met him. I'm not going to believe you've not heard of him. Right then you know. That's called sting-opping. Right? So they did the jewelry thing. And, so right there... Sorry, I had to change something. Not just this, but something else. So, we had this is, the maid. I've lived here for 10 years, not seen traffic like that. It's very menacing. I've called the chief 3 times and asked him to increase patrol over here. What the hell is this? Texas Mafia. Black Lexus with Texas plates kept coming through there, banging on my door. I wasn't even home. Mr. Perry likes to say, she's delusional. Nope. See, I wasn't there when she saw that. I contacted a shrink. They say I'm delusional. I need to be tested. They had me arrested. And he says, I need to see your evidence. Because what has to happen is I got to look at what you're looking at. And if you see something I don't see, then you're delusional. If not, then you're not. Well, but they destroyed that. And I was threatened with false arrest for, I've got a lot of emails and texts you can look at. Or I'm telling people I'm being threatened with death and false arrest. By a stalker. Well, if that's the case... and they destroyed your evidence, that means you're not delusional, ma'am. I'd be wasting your money and your time. Okay, well, there's a couple of shrinks from Texas Tech University that said they tested me for mental competency to stand trial and felt like there was further testing needed, that mine might be delusional. And he goes, did they look at your evidence? And I said, nope. And I passed with flying colors twice, mental competency. And he said, I'm not putting my license on the line like that. I can't believe they did. You don't make any diagnosis or any statements like that at all unless you've seen some evidence. I wouldn't jeopardize my license or my reputation like that as being very careless with their career. So, there's that. Everybody's a little sick and tired of hearing that, Mr. Perry. So, it's getting old. Did Lucky go into your club? Yep, he did. And he asked me about a forged marriage license. And I knew this was you, not Lisa Nealy. You spoofed her. This is identity theft. You spoofed an account to communicate with me about what I knew about the crime, didn't you? Because you did the crime, not Mike. Otherwise, you wouldn't have any interest in contacting me and asking me these questions, would you? This is an act showing consciousness of guilt. He asked me about a forged marriage license because in your delusion, you forged my name to a piece of paper that doesn't mean shit. It's called marriage fraud. I want a divorce now. We're not a couple. You're a whack job. Our guys tell me, we got this guy that said for 6 years, Charles Perry has gone up to Oklahoma. He's in Oklahoma more than he's in Lubbock. His residency's in question. He's inserted himself into her life. He's been seen hanging out with her friends and family. But never with her. People started questioning his mental status. She's suing for a protective order constantly. He'll buy his way out, she'll sue again. He'll buy his way out, she'll sue again. And there's a hell of a lot of hearings where she's not there. And the burden of proof is on her. She's not even there. He won't let her in. Why, if there's nothing, if she has no proof, he'd let her in. She's not an attorney. He's got 5 of them. Seasoned, old fart attorneys. She's not been to law school, and he will not let her in court. Over and over, it's the same old, same old. You got an MO. You like poisoning people. Me and Mike both drugged. Neither one of us tested. Not him. He was tested, but not in time. Not before he was given Narcan. The Narcan changes the chemical composition of your blood. It's not going to be the same. He came to. He responded. It changed his body composition, the chemicals that made him be passed out and in respiratory distress to begin with. That's a Brady violation. So Mr. Perry's like, Mr. Perry, oh, she's not getting a new apartment and a new car. It's not your business. He's inserting himself into her life against her will. People started figuring out something was up. He's a little wacky. When in 6 years, they've never been seen together, ever. He's always by himself. She's always going to try to get a protective order. He'll buy his way out. She tries again. 11 times, actually, Mr. Perry. That means I don't like you. That's what that means. Take the blow-off hint already. Move on. You got power. Find a date. I don't think you have any power. I don't think you have shit. I think you're a weak, impotent fool. Depraved, disturbed nutbag. What you've gotten for 12 years is caught and told on. Never a date. You need that false arrest so you can have a lie. You want to perpetrate another fraud and another lie, either in the public eye or in a courtroom, and you do it over and over and over. But the thing is when you do it once, people might go, okay. You do it twice, they're going to start noticing. 3 times, they're really going to notice. 4 times. Any good police officer does not believe in coincidence. 6 days after I file a vandalism report, Chief Miller's dead. And yeah, he did ask me about a forged marriage license. And guess what else he told me? I told them to get their hands out of your wallet. They're stealing your money. I told them if they mugged you, 5 men would jump on them and get your purse back. I'm not going to have people in my town inconvenienced because they want to starve you to death so you can't fight them in court. Go to court and do it right. You didn't like that, did ya? Terry Wagner's wife died on, I don't know. I'll have to look, but he comes in my club. Look at that. Death and false arrest isn't going to vindicate you from stalking. It's going to prove you are. I have said. There's the arrest report for Mr. Nealy. Mr. Perry, you need to shut the hell up. No one cares what you think. You weren't asked. He likes typing in my computer when I do these. And it's, please stop. Get out of my computer. This isn't a conversation. The only way you know what I'm doing right now, because it's recorded, is you're a peeping Tom. Get off your fat, lazy ass, quit perverting around, and go fucking work. Go be normal. You need to control yourself, sir. You're a turnoff. So, this last paragraph here, suspect Nealy was transported to Sacred Heart Hospital for evaluation. Investigator Martinez, arrived at Sacred Heart Hospital to speak with suspect Nealy, but he was unable to provide any information about what happened in the hotel. He slept through the whole thing. He was knocked out with drugs. Not in a fight. And here's how we know this. It's not what I saw. It's what Detective Stupid here saw. Probable cause was not there to make an arrest. Any more than it was there on my false arrest. 2 of them. It's a pattern. Once you see a pattern, you can't unsee it, and that gives you intent. And I'm repeating myself again and again and again, and everyone else gets it. Why can't you? When you fuck with me, you get caught. Yeah, I've solved actually 2 murders you did. 2 of them. 3 of them. And it's a need to know. I'm not going to talk about that any more than I just had. So, who's helping me, Perry? Who's helping me? When you cause me a problem, all of those guys get pissed at you. Who's helping me? Big. Somebody big. Okay, so this is, the injuries I observed on suspect Nealy were to his nose and lips, which were caused when suspect Nealy was pulled off Miller and struck face first on the floor. Second event. I also noticed suspect Nealy's right hand to be red and swollen. Did ya? And yet you didn't put it together that he had, oddly as it might seem, Detective Stupid, oh gosh, look at that, an IV in the right hand where it's red and swollen, which would cause it to be red and swollen. No other injury on a man who just was accused of beating someone to death. And if I'm a cop, I'm going, I don't have probable cause to believe he did shit. Has no memory of anything. He's found unconscious and in respiratory distress, treated with Narcan for opioid overdose. The medical people who came on the scene initially, the emergency first responders, who's been trained, looked at Officer Nealy and said he was drugged. He was drugged. You can't beat someone to death while you're sleeping, can you? You can't beat someone to death and have nothing on you. You're going to have bruised, broken fingers, hands. I haven't seen Lucky's autopsy photos. I would like to see them. My guess is he's got some defensive wounds. He's got bruising on his hands. Unless he was subdued immediately. He was answered the door due to a noise complaint. Right? Due to a noise complaint. Didn't open the door any bigger, any more than what his face could be seen. Well, he didn't need to conceal Mike Nealy. Mike Nealy's the other registered guest. Mike Nealy had opened the door earlier. And wide enough for everybody to see Lucky's laying on the bed. Resting. They were talking about Jeff Epstein right before. Well, they just had an Epstein case land on their desk. Didn't they? Sexual exploitation of women and children is what got this started to begin with. Torment, torture, starvation of women and little babies. You're hurting little babies. It's bad enough that grown men get a thrill beating down women because they got mommy issues they can't keep within their own family. But babies, my kids, you hurt my kids. Once you hurt someone's kids, there's no going back. There's no going back. I would never go on a date with a weirdo like you. Not gonna happen. So Officer Nealy was trying to help me. He took my complaint. Vandalism, Jodi Arias, vandalism on a car, followed by an escalation where the next step was a first-degree murder. And you did the same thing. You did the same thing. I make a vandalism report. 6 days later, this police officer was almost killed. Not treated for being beat up in a fight. He was killed. He was treated for being overdosed with drugs. What do you know? And not given a fair trial. That's your MO, isn't it? That's your thing, isn't it? This was all over my car. In the trunk. That was all over. And I'm telling Officer Nealy, it's probably my stalker. I mean, we can't know that for sure. Nobody saw who did this. I would say chances are very high it's the man stalking me. He always gets a key to my car. Pays the car dealership a little something. Yeah, there you go. The maid goes, look, it's all over the room. Look at this. Dave's people were staying right next to me. Right next to me. Perry, shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up. Mr. Perry, shut up. Shut up. Please, leave me the hell alone. So, now he's out reoffending, and this guy is in prison for something he didn't do. Wrongful conviction. It's as wrongful conviction as it gets. And this right here is evidence that murder was premeditated. Mr. Mitchell never asked me about this. He never said, you're getting contacts from somebody indicating there might have been a premeditated murder planned of Officer Nealy, my client. Didn't say that in the deposition. I was waiting for it. I'm trying to prove corruption. He didn't say it. I'm trying to prove corruption. Mr. Perry, shut up. You have got to shut the fuck up. You have got to get it through your head. No one cares what you think. Mr. Perry, write this down. Nobody asked you what you think. Don't contact me. I don't like it. Shut up and get out. You're told on and told on and told on and told on. Your crime is more caught than ever before in your life, Mr. Perry. That's the results you get. No one gives a fuck what you think. You're not asked. What were you asked to do? Shut up and get out. Control yourself. Go be normal. You're disturbing everybody, sir. So, the other thing is, back with this, they did the same thing to me. They're giving me poison. I don't die. I got, instead of Narcan, I went and bought charcoal from Whole Foods. Look at the date on that, 12/27/2015. I filed a police report on the 21st, 2016. 9 days later, there's no blood draw. There's no view of the video I talk about. There's no review of the text I'm talking about. I'm instead charged in Lubbock, where I don't live, with filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job. Okay, well, in order to have probable cause, Mr. Powell, you have to first establish that the report was investigated and found to be false, which you didn't do. You can't do that in a week. I hadn't given any evidence to Tulsa police, and Tulsa police should never, ever have given my police report to you. Never should they have done that, ever. And that's why they're not, and they need to know. Nobody trusts them because they did that. And then didn't do anything at all about your obstruction, your little intimidation act. In retaliation for his job as a public servant would be the second thing that needed to be proven in order for there to be probable cause. There was no police investigation. No evidence was collected properly by Tulsa police in order to do an investigation and make a police determination as to whether or not Mr. Perry and Mr. Robertson were trying to poison me. I'm sorry, I don't have any words for that. They didn't even call me until the 15th. I'm arrested on the 29th of January. And she says, I need you to bring in your evidence. Yeah, incompetence in a big, huge way. So my charges were dismissed. There was no ever any collection of my evidence. None, ever. That's two of us. Once you see a pattern, Mr. Perry, you can't unsee it. This is the McNamara email. Dated 10/29/2015. He's trying to arrange a false arrest and coerce me. You're big on the coercion, and I keep saying no. Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison. And I'm sure when she first started out, nobody thought Jeff was going to be arrested. And not only that, Mr. Perry, I come from 4 generations of police. I'm not going to help you with your crime. I'm not going to do it. So we have these bond conditions. They want me to lie. I'm like, yo, fuck no. Hell no. You're off your nut. I'll stay quiet, but I have a caveat. Mr. Perry never, ever bothers me again. Ever. Never hear his name. I don't want to hear even his name. So it says in here, Charles Perry shall have no contact of any kind, including and not limited to personal, online, blah, blah, blah. None. None. Lucky says, I've seen bond conditions before. They don't look like that. That is a cover-up negotiation, not bond conditions. My shrink said, you escalate more than I can ignore. Didn't say I'm delusional, didn't say I'm crazy. Traumatized and reasonably worried. Right here, saw her for a year and a half, recorded this. And then the transcripts are here. Right here. Hey, or something. Ignore. But the problem is it can escalate more than you can ignore, and that's what you've got with Charles. Don't contact me. Every time you contact me, it makes me want to hit you. I hate it. I moved twice to get away from all that. I don't want to hear from you. When you contact me in the weird ways that you do, it makes me want to barf all over you. You disgust me. And then you get told on and told on. Your crime is more caught than it's ever been in your lives. All of you. Leave me alone. You're crazy. All of you are nutty. This is here we go, right here. This is another one. This guy came to where I am, like Terry Wagner did. What happened on that is my guy looks at the pictures I took of the jewelry. that Terry gave me, and he goes, this is Walmart shit. The jewelry guy played the recording of y'all talking about that, by the way. I don't think they'd given it to her yet, because this is Walmart crap, and a pawn shop won't take it. So there's 3 things right there. Then you had, the drug guy dealer come in and ask me, 14 girls, a bunch of girls standing right around him who frequently buy drugs, and everybody knows I don't. What's he do? Calls me from all the way across the room, away from my customer, and says, go ask that guy up there if he wants my drugs. And I'm like, wow, okay. Don't ask me 1 minute if I'm a cop and then do that and think I'll do it. What the fuck? I said, yeah, no, I don't think so. Went back and sat with my customer. I had already talked to the cop. That would have been drug trafficking. What planet do they live on? So that's 4 things right there they were trying to do a false arrest on again. And then this chick that did something, and she's heavier than me, hair's darker than mine, and she's tanner than me. And then there was the Caitlin Arquette thing. They're taking my cigarette butts from work and my gum. And I'm like, first of all, I've never shot a weapon in my life. Don't own a gun, never tried to get a gun, don't want a gun, never have. Not in my entire life. So, the incidentals on my hands, which you wouldn't have access to them until after 2010 at least, wouldn't match what they were in 1980, 30, 40 years ago when she died. I didn't know her, didn't hang out with the same people, didn't go to the same schools. I didn't hear anything about it until I met her mother at a book signing. After her mother wrote, Who Killed My Daughter? She hired an investigator. They investigated the crime. They found out who did it, and it wasn't me. They wrote a book about it. She wrote a book about it. Lois Duncan was a famous author. I met her at a book signing. She and I remained friends until she died. So I'm bringing out that. I didn't smoke then. And when I did start smoking after that, I smoked a different brand. Mr. Perry, shut the hell up! This isn't a conversation. You're not supposed to know what I'm doing right now, Peepin' Tom. When you bother me, you get told on, sir. Oil viscosity. Shoe print. Ringtone. You're pissing me off. Get out. My incidentals on my hands are not going to be the same now as they were back then. You'll burn yourself. You cut yourself. You got incidentals. Fingerprints are always the same. Incidentals are not. They're different. Because you've cut yourself. You've got scars now that you didn't have when you're 18 years old. When you're 52, you do. He didn't think of that. I didn't smoke when she died. Didn't know her. Never met her. We didn't hang in the same circles. I met her mom at a book signing when Who Killed My Daughter. They'd already had it investigated, and she'd already written a book about it. The cigarettes that I smoked in the beginning, and when I was 21 and I first started smoking, aren't what I smoke now. The gum that I chew now wasn't even made then. They're taking all that, try to plant it. So then that didn't work out. Over and over and over, trying to arrange the second false arrest, and you're caught. You're pathetic. You've never been so caught in your crime as you are since you fucked with me. They're worried about socks. She gives a lap dance with socks on. Maybe we can make that work for prostitution. But look what he did. Just sleep with him. No, he makes my skin crawl. Okay, well, he'll pay you $5,000. This is prostitution, you son of a bitch. You always want to commit you blame everybody else, or you try to accuse other people of doing what you do. You're pathetic. You have never been this caught in your life, have you? You need to shut up. Golly, it's unbelievable. This is unbelievable, the shit you do. You are oh my God, you piss everybody off so much every day. Politically, you could ruin him. And I'm like, politically, he's a nobody. Because you're not. You need to get off your high horse. Mr. I'm a serial killer with grandiose thinking. Everybody owes me something, welfare, I'm entitled. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. Nope, not how that works. When you bother me, you get told on. When you bother me, you get told on. The results are you get told on, and you better shut up. No one asked you what you think. Neil, shut up. Nobody asked you what you think, Neil. Get off me, rapist. You're not loved and wanted. You're told on and told on and told on and told on and told on. When in your lives has your crime been caught this much? When? You are something. What I say, all I want him to do is leave me the hell alone. Where is it? Look at that. Maybe you have a wire on. He asked me that 3 times. Yeah, right it is. I don't give a shit about him politically. I just want him to leave me the hell alone! Leave me alone. What does that say? July 27, 2014. I don't want to be a scandal. I want him to leave me the fuck alone. When you bother me, you're told on. Mr. Perry, when you bother me, you're told on. Mr. Perry, listen to the words. I'm going to speak very slowly for you because you don't seem to understand normal words everybody else gets the first time. You and Neil. I don't like you. I don't like you. You disgust me. You're not loved and you're not wanted. You're told on because you bother me and bother me and bother me and bother me. And I'm sick and tired of it. Everybody is. And so you get told on and told on and told on and told on. And never in your life has your crime been caught this much because you cannot control yourself and go work and get out of my life. I moved twice to get away from you. You make my skin crawl. You're sick. You're making people mad. You're sickening. Listen, you shut up. You're making everybody mad. The only results you've gotten in not a day, not a week, not a month, 12 years, a decade, over a decade, rejected and told on, and rejected and told on. Day after day, it's the same thing with you. And it will be that way until you're arrested, and you will be arrested. It doesn't matter who else you bought. You did not buy my guys. We're sick of you. I'm sick of you. It's not that hard to get information. You're just not all there. You're not getting that. You are not all. Do you see this? None of you get the significance of this. I didn't get this at some random time. I got this in jail. It's not anybody, it's not a random name on there. It's Fabian's name. And you're depicted as the selfish little butt-in. Always a wannabe, never the one wanted. Always a wannabe, never wanted. Just a butt-in. We all have to deal with until they finally put you in jail. Because we're all, I promise you, it isn't hard to get information, Mr. Perry. We're all sick and tired of dealing with it. Sick and tired of you. All of you. Sick and tired of you, Mr. Perry. You need to shut up. No one asked you what you think. No one cares. And I'm repeating myself. And you can't get it still, can you? You're a little slow. I don't hang out with people that are slow. Sorry. I'm used to working with federal elected officials and their staff. I'm used to working with surgeons. With very, very intelligent, astute police officers. I don't have time for somebody like you. You have to say the same thing over and over and over. Leave me alone. When you bother me, you get told on. That's the results of your actions. I don't like you. There will never be a date. You make my skin crawl. You're making everybody want to throw up. It's not hard to get information. You've never been this caught in your life. And I've had to say that over and over and over and over. And it goes right over your head, doesn't it? Doesn't click for you, does it? Don't fit into my crowd. On the side here, Boo is depicting the fear you cause and sadness on the right. Boo is a private joke between one of the police officers helping me and I. We've known each other a lot longer than I've known you. You don't matter. You're just a butt-in. You're just the wannabe. Fabian intersects with hope. I got that in jail. You're missing the significance of those words being just like that. Not just in the same book, not just on the same page, but arranged just like that. That I got, not at some random time in my life, in jail. Right up under your nose. You don't have any control over shit. You don't control your leaks. We do. Always have, always will. You can't even control yourself. Making everybody pissed off. Leave me the hell alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the hell alone, weirdo. When you bother me, you get told on. The results are, in 12 years, over a decade, not once a date, never gonna get a date with me. You're beneath me. I like guys who are smart. I say it once. I like guys who are busy working, have something interesting to talk about. I don't have any patience for people like you, and I sure as shit would never go out with a guy that sits around on his fat lazy ass playing with a doll, perverting around. Jesus. Ugh. So nasty. And lastly, we have the famous harassment email. Send her home, harass the shit out of her, do things like get her kicked out of her house, call the landlord, and the landlord has no business talking to the stalker peeper. How'd the cameras get in my home to begin with? Yeah, those are going to come out. That's going to come out in our case, Mr. Perry. Doesn't matter who you bought off. You didn't buy off us. So, send her home, and then we'll say that she is when she tells on us, we'll say she's harassing us. But you're always up here. Pinto came where I work. Terry Wagner came where I work. Your drug dealer came where I work. Nobody's going where you are. You don't get that, do you? A little slow in the mind. Yep. So there's like 5 things he's tried to... Mr. Perry, I need you to fucking shut up. Nobody asked you what you think. Get out of my computer. Stop trying to talk to me. A U.S. attorney was notified in August 2015 when 2 police officers came to my work and said, Mr. Perry told us to just find some way to arrest you. I told them no. We told them no. No, that's not why we signed up to be police. But that doesn't mean he won't find an asshole who will. So, interestingly enough, one night I walk into my work. One of the girls that I was not close to, looks at me and she says, hey, how do you know which cops are good and which ones are bad? And I'm like, wow, that's kind of a unusual question to be asked as soon as I walk in the door at my work at a strip club. And I said, what do you mean? How do I know which ones are good and which ones are bad? You know, which ones are good and which ones are the bad ones that work for your, that stalker guy senator from Texas. I'm like, whoa, how do you even know about that? This is not something I talk about much. I try not to. She says, I just need to know how you know which cops are good and which ones are bad. Which ones work for your stalker, the senator from Texas. Okay, well, what are their names? Do you know names? Because some of them I know their names. She gave me their names. I said, what happened? She goes, the other night you weren't here. We were sitting in our car and they were harassing us and they did XYZ. I said, wow, yeah, that's not cool. And we took care of that. We made sure they understood if you're a cop and you want to come get a lap dance and hang out and have a nice time, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, Curry versus Streeter prohibits it. You don't have qualified immunity if you're off duty and out of jurisdiction. You can get sued for harassment. It's Oklahoma Civil Court of Appeals, I think, made the determination in Curry versus Streeter. It was some lady did make a false claim that she was being harassed by a police officer who was off duty and not working. Well, it was only like a one-time event in Curry versus Streeter. So the Supreme Court said, yeah, it's not really going to meet the criteria of harassment. There has to be a pattern. This has to happen more than once, like when Mr. Perry does it. But what happens is we're going to go ahead and rule on qualified immunity. In these cases where an officer is off duty and out of jurisdiction, doing things in his own personal life, if he starts harassing people or threatening somebody, they're not going to get qualified immunity. We're going to go ahead and rule on that. So they did. So we let those guys know, hey, you want to come out and have a good time? Come out and have a good time. Don't harass people. Sure as shit, don't harass my coworkers. And now they're specifically asking me, how do I know which ones work for the senator? That's the question she opened the story with. Everybody knew what you were doing. The other one at Lady Godiva's. Those guys were in here telling us, we got to make you not like Fabian and like Mr. Perry. Are you shitting us with this? That's not our job. That's his job. Maybe he shouldn't be such a dick. They told us that if you didn't change your mind, they were going to find that we were supposed to help them find a way to put you back in jail until you change your mind. What in the hell is that? What in the fuck is that? I want to know what is going on here. This isn't about getting a date. Because that's not how you get a date. You don't do shit like that to people and think you're going to get a date. So what's really going on here? What happened in Dallas? Who is this Fabian guy? He's a strip club manager in Dallas, I understand. Yes. Well, they're scared to death of him. What happened down there that they're coming in here doing that? He's a damn senator from Texas. He doesn't live here. Why is he coming in here doing that? Why doesn't he pick up the phone and call you and go, I'd like to go on a date with you? What is this coming in my work, threatening me, telling me I got to help him, make you not like me? What the fuck is this? I said, I can't tell you, but I'll have somebody get in touch with you. And so my guys go in and talk to her. You had no idea, did you? That was a cease and desist to Mr. Powell, set in August 2015. I'm going to sue the hell out of you if you keep fucking with me. I left. I moved. I don't want to fight. I don't want to feud. I want to be left alone. U.S. Attorney, I'm afraid he's using law enforcement to harass me. This is corruption. Right? Political corruption, abuse of power. And I'm requesting federal oversight. Yep. Because Tulsa police can't be trusted, they'll give your police report right over to the offender. Yep. Bad thing to do. I wish you hadn't done that. Believe me, I wish you hadn't done that. So now, because now nobody trusts you. Look at that. If she tells on me again, I want her arrested for harassment. Lucky complained about it, Mr. Perry. Lucky complained about it. I was trying to find that. I think I kind of said it. These are Facebook messages from 2011 about stalking, not long before I could have anticipated Mr. Perry would go in a court of law, raise his right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and then allege he's a victim of political vendetta and a false police report. You got to have a probable cause. First, you have to get all the evidence. Then you have to do an investigation. And then you have to make a police determination. Is it true or is it false? And you have to prove that it was done because of a political vendetta. Only all this way before, years before. I could have anticipated he'd lie. There's no issue. There's no emails. There's no tweets. There's no nothing about politics. All of it is about stalking. And I'm telling my friends, I'm telling you guys, I was threatened in case something happens to me. None of this is political. I'm telling his campaign guy, listen, look, I'm saying I might have to go to Vegas. I might have to move back to Vegas. I got to get out of here. I got a creepster on me. Right? Okay, so it's not. I don't like his pro-life position. I don't like his pro-protection of marriage position. I don't like his, none of it's about that. I'm telling his guy, listen, I didn't go to the media with his problem. I went to you with it. And your answer should have been, thanks for letting us know. We'll talk to him about his public displays of affection that are inappropriate, or public jealous fits that are inappropriate. We'll talk to him about it. Instead, I get we're going to ruin your business. What? What in the fuck is that? I didn't hurt him. I didn't go to the media with this. Maybe I should have. I'm coming to you with it. I helped him get elected. He's the new guy. I've been in this business a while. I think you need to know that you're dealing with somebody that can probably fuck up your crime pretty damn good if you fuck with me enough. And I have. No one's done it like I have. Nobody has done it like I have they? I'd like to know who. I would like to know who, Mr. Perry. Who has fucked up your crime like I have? Look at this. That's me with Senator Reid. I've just come out of his office. You think you matter? Yeah, that's John Ensign. I've just come out of his office. You think you matter? I had a fight with John Lopez, his chief of staff. This is my granddad. Look at that. His name's on the front door of the police department where he was the chief. Nobody remembers the other guy. Don't even know who the guy was. So we got a lot of, look, that's a whole wall inside Roswell Police Department. My granddad's name's right here. We had the power in the town where I grew up, dumbass. He's got a brochure here where he says, right here, all too often government seems to forget that our job is to serve. We enjoy having our bosses and taxpayers and voters in our office. That was his philosophy. That's what he taught us. That's who he was. That's what we believe. He was a good man. That's why he was honored. This is his affidavit for the alien thing. He was batting the breeze. Who says that? Batting the breeze. That's funny as fuck. So I'm watching Discovery Channel or History Channel or one of those, and they're doing a documentary on UFOs, and they're talking about my granddad, and I was like, holy crap, my granddad's on the damn, National Geographic something with this deal. Yep. So okay, if you read it, it's really kind of benign. He doesn't really confirm or anyways, but he knew that people like to believe, something happened. They want to come see what it was, and it brings a lot of money into the town of Roswell. So look, I mean, gosh, here I am with Rick Perry, Mr. Who the fuck are you, Mr. I have the 3% of the state on my jurisdiction. I own the world. Yep, I don't have words for that. This is my granddad and I when I was just little. I was a little bitty. So, here's another one. Governor Perry. So, this was my great-granddad. Captain of Detectives, Roswell PD. I'm raised in it. Cut my teeth on that badge. Mr. Perry, you're a nobody. This is Brian Urlacher, Chicago Bears, playing football with my kid. That's my kid right there. They were playing flag football. My son sacked him, jerked his flag out while right there. You can't actually, Brian Urlacher can't actually tackle these little kids. They'd smush them. There's my son with Little John. Little John and his dad are best friends. Bowling. They went bowling. They took the boys, went bowling. That's the life I had before I even met you, Perry. You're fucking nuts. You know that? Everybody's sick and tired of dealing with you, Mr. Perry. Sick and tired. That's Tristan's dad right here. Brandon and Little John. That's Tristan's dad. So, I mean, everybody's really tired of dealing with you, Mr. Perry. You have no idea what the hell golly. I'm out of words. I don't know what to say. Your delusion is gagging everybody. We're all sick of it. Everybody's tired of watching you make me suffer. And everybody suffer. Mike Nealy too. You cannot beat someone to death while you're asleep and have not a mark on you. So Mike Nealy and I are like, we have superpowers. Right? We got superpowers. He can beat somebody to death and while he's sleeping and end up with not a mark on him. And I have superpowers that I just get this puzzle just came to me magically, right? No one gave it to me. Nobody's helping me. I have some superpower that I just got that to myself in jail. Yeah, 1 minute. The next minute is, we got to put her back in jail and isolate her. She can't talk to her family. She can't get anything from the commissary. And the guy goes, she can't eat the food. It makes her sick. She has to eat from the commissary. Oh, we'll just put her on gluten-free. And that is true. I didn't eat any of the food the whole time I was in jail. I ate from the commissary. That shit made me sick. All of it, really. I mean, I think that's the intent, isn't it? Let's make them all sick. Maybe they'll just die off. Is that how that works? I mean, so they didn't want, God, we can't get her. That came from the commissary. And the guy goes, well, there's still 6 different ways they could get her in. We got to cut her off from her family. They can't talk to her. There's still 6 different ways they can get to her guys. What guys? I thought you said there were no guys. There's no police investigation. Didn't you say that? I have superpowers, and I, magically got that to myself. I mean, which one is it? Are there guys or not? I mean, you tell us. You keep poking at him. You keep poking that bear. Like you think there's no guys. You see me talking on my secured phone right here in my house. You're a peeping Tom. You can talk to police on the phone. You sit there and watch me. Now, I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to tell you again. Here's the thing. I say it once. And if you can't keep up, you need to go see a special education teacher. I don't have that kind of patience. Everybody has a gift. I don't have that one. I don't have it at all. But you know what I can do is solve the murders you commit. I can do it in my sleep. I can fucking do it in my sleep, Richard. I can do it in my sleep, man. Nobody came up here to pick a fight with you, Richard. Captain Gimpy. You know what we came to do? Be safe. Have peace. Have a normal life. At my age, I should have a house about paid off. Yep. It can't happen when you got some freaky Jason stealing all your money. Trying to coerce a lie. Trying to make you the next Ghislaine Maxwell. Thinking he's got a harem. I'm a big, sexy dude, and I got a harem. You ever talk to these women? No. You just watch them on TV, don't you? Yep. I got a lot of friends that got a harem of women they sit around watching TV. You don't have shit. And you owe me money, $1,000 a day, for watching me in my home, getting entertained. Plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. Never had my consent, never will. I want the divorce, Mr. Perry. We're not a couple. I want for you to shut up and get out of my life. Do you understand? Understand the words said to you? Do we need to speak very slowly so it will click for you? Like it does everybody else after it's been said only one time? Leave me alone, and then you won't have to pay out $25 million and then still not get the cover up. Yep.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
I forgot two things about the murder of Lucky Miller, and also Justice Scalia died while they were planning the harassment. Well, I'm in jail. All the inmates told me, I guess Powell and Perry had a meeting, and then it got to some defense attorneys who spread it to their clients in jail, and who told me, they're going to send you home, harass the hell out of you, and then when you claim when you complain about it, they'll say that you're harassing them. They're going where you are, remember. He's hacked your phone. Get rid of your phone. So I did. And Mr. Perry tried to text from it. That's been shown before. While they were planning that, Justice Scalia also is in West Texas. We're all in West Texas at that same time, and he dies. And he's a First Amendment guy. He's the one that said flag burning is protected speech under the First Amendment. They were about to perpetrate a fraud upon the highest court in the land, and he wasn't going to go along with it. So then you have a commander from a DC homicide commander, police, murder cop, commander, William O. Ritchie, starts questioning the way that the investigation was handled in West Texas. Something's fishy in West Texas, he said. Look at this. He's discussing it. They didn't follow protocol as they would have had Justice Scalia died in D.C. That's a little fishy, Mr. Perry. Also, something that could have been drug-induced death. Once you see a pattern, you can't unsee it. And a pattern shows intent. It establishes mens rea, and when you cover it up, you got rid of your opportunity to use the insanity defense. You knew it was wrong and you did it anyway. Now you're trying to cover it up. Destruction of evidence is evidence in and of itself, Mr. Perry. Again, typing in my computer after I've told you over and over and over, no one cares what you think, do they? I wasn't tested for arsenic because you obstructed justice. By physical force, prevented and delayed me from giving the evidence to Tulsa police, where there should have been a blood draw. Mr. Roberson said, yes, I gave her arsenic. He's texting me. I gave you, and then he's telling somebody, I was responding to the text, but not that one. And the guy said, bullshit. Because after that, you told her, let your life fade away. I can't promise the stalking will end without death and destruction. Bullshit. I don't believe you. Why would you say all that to her? Why the hell would you say that? If you weren't intending to cause fear and intimidation and make her believe you're trying to kill her. If you had not given me arsenic, Mr. Perry, the way that you like to do your little press conference drama queen act, you would have had a blood test, and then you would have immediately gone to the media and said, we had her tested. She lied. There's nothing in her blood. Instead, you made sure I was not tested. That's also a Brady violation. Mr. Powell had the legal obligation to preserve my evidence. He didn't even try. Not the video, not the blood. None of it. So after he obstructs justice, and I'm sitting in West Texas, and Justice Scalia dies while you're planning this, let's perpetrate a fraud upon the highest court in the land and say she's harassing us. This cop is questioning it. How come the post-mortem protocol was not followed as it would have been had he died in D.C.? It didn't die anywhere at any time. He died right then, right there. Two of us didn't die. We end up false arrested. Two of us. Me and Mike Nealy. You got cops all over the country looking at this shit. Cops who weren't born yesterday. They're not Fife. You're something. I don't have any words for this. Don't contact me. I hate it. Don't. I don't care what you think. Listen to what I'm saying, Mr. Perry. I don't care what you think. I didn't ask you. What are the words that I used to ask you? Leave me alone. Leave me alone sounds nothing at all like, what do you think? Does it? I'm used to smart people. Boom, boom, boom. They get it. One time, that's all you say it. I can't relate to your stupid. I can't do it. Don't know how. Don't care to either. So you got all that. Now, what I was saying about Lucky is he was found in a very confined space, laying nice and neat like someone put him there. Because when somebody hits you and you fall, you're going to fall slumped over. You're not going to fall laying on your back, face up, nice and neat. He was placed in the place where he was found. He answered the door. He wouldn't open it wide enough for anybody to see Mike, and he didn't need to conceal Mike. Mike is the other registered guest in the room, and supposedly an angry drunk about to beat him to death. But yet you hear not a peep from him. And I swear to God, I've been in a lot of bars where there's crazy drunks. I've walked down the strip in Las Vegas where there's crazy drunks. They're not quiet. They're yelling. They're yelling. Never in my life have I seen an angry drunk who didn't make a peep. They're saying something. They're talking. They're yelling. They're belligerent. And yet, they open the door and nothing is heard from Mike. Nothing. Nobody saw him to see if he was okay. Because he was sleeping. You drugged him. And you guys were standing behind him. Lucky. As soon as he shuts the door after getting rid of Hotel John, he comes to find out what's the loud noises all about. What's the fighting? He's pulled back into the corner. So he may or may not have defensive wounds. I didn't get to see the autopsy. So I'm sure there's a reason you don't want me to see that. I'll sure like the shit out of that, and you know it. Some guy said that when I pulled up his case, and your little hacker people watching, your little hired hackers, watch, she's going to pick apart this case and find every mistake they made. And I did. He's right. That's exactly what I did. Don't ask me if I'm a cop. The Florida State's attorney asked me if I'm a cop. 1 minute, and then the next minute act like I was born yesterday. Yep. You guys are... I don't even have words. I don't have words.
Don't want for for this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
This is my mail. Somehow you got my address, stalker. It was forwarded to your house. I have a bank card that's been sent out 4 or 5 times now, and I never get it. You got it. This is an amended petition before the Supreme Court. You intended to impede it. You still do. What we did, this wasn't even moistened. Everything, we heard you guys. You were recorded. We told them not to seal it, and maybe it just fell out. Yep. So, my mail is my mail. My postman, I'm asking him about the sticker on it. What's this forwarding shit? Well, apparently your mail's been forwarded, but then I saw you. So, I put the sticker on right here, this one, that said it needed to be verified, because I'm looking at you. Didn't look to me like you moved. I said, sir, I didn't fill out any such thing. Do not forward my mail. Mr. Perry, you're butting in. He's inserted her life for 6 years. Inserted himself into her life like they're a spouse. He's making spousal decisions, and that's not his spouse. She's trying to get protective orders. Probably because he does that. He's been seen with her friends and family, but never with her. I won't go on a date with you. You're a murderer. If your guy told you several years ago, you better be glad she said no. Because you're stupid and you'd leave something laying around and she'd find it. She'd have you locked up in a week. Didn't your guy tell you that? That's not a romance. She's working a crime here. You're a dumbass. She's caught every mistake you made. You'd leave some paper laying around, incriminating piece of paper. She'd have you locked up in a week. Better be glad she said no. You guys have organized crime going, don't you? Racketeering and fraud. RICO Act. So, there's that one. Okay, so my guy calls me on the 11th and says, they're going to impede your appeal. I've been sitting here listening to him talk about it all the damn day. I want you to take the DOR and the amended petition and send it to Tulsa County Mail. Don't walk it in. Mail it. And make sure you attach the receipt as an exhibit, because they're going to fuck with the mail. I want to prove to the Supreme Court when you mailed it. So that's what that is. That's Exhibit F. Look at the top there. See the top? Exhibit F. And it's right here in the petition, because you don't normally do that. We had a strategy here, Mr. Perry. You fell right into it. Right here. Exhibit F. This is the one Lucky had. They called up here and bugged us and harassed us and harassed us. You know how many times she called? Never. I believe this was Lucky. I called one time. We knew they were harassing her. They always wanted us to get information on her car. Yep. So we could tell pretty quickly the harassment was the other way around. You never shut up. You guys are something. So easy, it's not even fair. Mr. Perry, don't contact me. Don't contact me. You see this? What part of that looks like I want to go on a date with you or give a shit what you think? Leave me alone. And what do you think? Don't sound anything like, sir. Because you react wrong every time, our shrink thinks that you're literally mentally retarded. We want the death penalty. She doesn't think you'll qualify. 8th Amendment test, 70. You have to have an IQ of 70. Or it's considered cruel and unusual punishment. So, there's that. Okay. When you contact me, I hate it What I'd like for you to do is leave me the hell alone. Get out of my life, Mr. Perry. There's never gonna be a date. Ever. You disgust me. The more you bother me, the more you guys get told on. You're disturbing everybody. Why can you not get that? When you touch a hot stove, you get burned. Cause and effect. When you bother me, you get told on. You're not getting a date, sir. No one cares what you think. Were you asked? No, you weren't. No one cares. We want you to shut up and leave us alone. Like this.
I am simply saying that
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
Shut up.
please
Shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Please saying that
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
Shut up.
please
Shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
No one asked her what she thought, did they? Like 100 times. Shut up. Same thing to you. 100 times to Neil. Leave me alone. Get out of my life. Leave me alone. When you contact me, it pisses us all off because you've been asked not for a day, not for a week, not for a month, for 12 years. Leave me alone. I moved twice to get away from you and not have a conflict and not have a problem. Shut up and get out of my life. If you can't understand those words, get a special education teacher to help you. I don't have the patience for it. I don't. When has your crime been caught this much? When? When? And it is a direct result of when you peep, hack, and contact me, and you won't shut up and get off me, rapist. Shut up and get off me. Why can't you control yourself and go be normal? If you're working, get off your fat, lazy, perverted ass and go work. And then you don't need a cover-up, Mr. Perry. Get off me, shut up, and leave me alone. And I'm repeating myself yet again. And we're all tired of that. Get a special education teacher to help you. I don't have the talent for dealing with somebody like you that doesn't get it the first time I say it. I don't have it. It's not my thing. You know what's my thing? Solving the murder you committed. That's my thing. That I can do in my sleep. And so nobody's done it like I have in your life, have they? When you bother me, when you cause a loss for me, when you pester me and take my money, your guy says, we're seeing things happen we've not seen before. Oil viscosity, ringtone, get her shoe print. Get her back out on that club and on that pole so I can get to her and hurt her. Take her car away from her. Get her kicked out of her home. And then my landlord's going, how many people you got kicked out of their homes? We just had her sign a lease. You said it was going to be fine. It's not fine or what? Grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with interstate commerce, interference with commerce, interference with contracts, and everybody's pissed at you. They're pissed. They're pissed. You don't have a cover-up. $25 million didn't cover up a fucking thing. Did it? And you don't have a date. 12 years. Over a decade. That's what you have. There's not going to be a date, you weirdo. I don't go out with people who play with dolls. Guys, I have friends that are trans. I'm not going to date them. They're friends. I don't date a man who plays with a doll. I don't date a man who has no life and does nothing but sit around and bother people all day. I don't date a man. I got to repeat myself. Everybody's sick and tired of you, and I'm asking you for the last fucking time. Get the hell out of my life. Shut up and get off me, rapist. Leave me alone.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
shut up.
please
shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave me alone.